Stocks trade firm but ranged ahead of the U.S. Federal Reserve monetary policy meet today, even as softer U.S. inflation boosts sentiment. Realty, utilities and IT lead the gains, while FMCG and autos lag today. The board of 197 Communications, which owns Paytm, announces an 850 crore rupee buyback of shares via the open market route, disappointing investors. The maximum buyback price of 810 rupees a share, a premium of 15% to the current share price, offers little solace. The Colgate-Palmolive India stock drifts lower as analysts remain circumspect of the new CEO's growth plans, while Yes Bank's recent rally ends after it announces the final deal with Carlyle and Aventis. And crude gains after the Canada-US Keystone Pipeline leak and closure is seen disrupting supply for weeks, even as a softer-than-expected US inflation aids sentiment. Hi guys, a very good afternoon and welcome to Business Lunch. I'm Pavitra Parekh. Those were all of the top headlines that we are looking at this afternoon. And for the markets, this is definitely looking like a good-looking screen. We have come off the highs a little bit, but still no complaints, right? It's around a 65-point gain that we are seeing on the Nifty ahead of that big huge. The Sensex also seeing similar, around 0.3% in terms of a gain. But take a look at the mid-cap index, the Nifty Bank. The mid-cap index is outperforming well today. It's a 0.6% move that you are seeing there. And the banks also, you've actually in the past couple of minutes seen quite a move in the PSU bank names. We'll talk more about that. But the first sector I want to point out today is the real estate space, because take a look at that. It's up 1.7%. And a lot of these names, I'm just going to pull up a few, but a lot of them are seeing outsized moves today. So the likes of DLF, you have Indiabulls Real Estate, which is seeing a 2.5% gain. Sobha is quite flat now, but the rest of the space also doing very well. The oil and gas names, of course, on the back of what's going on with crude. So ONGC, Oil India doing well. The PSU banks, like I was mentioning, have seen an up move in the past couple of minutes. UCO Bank is up 16%. So it's been crazy for that space. And on the downside, you have some of the consumption names which are seeing some cuts today. So the likes of HUL, Britannia under a little bit of pressure. But that's what's going on with the markets. We'll come back to this. But let's talk about that big cue that we are all really waiting for and tracking. The U.S. Federal Reserve will announce its final rate hike decision for this year, and it is likely to hike benchmark rates by 50 basis points. That is the broad estimate that everyone is working with. CNBC's Steve Leisman is here with the highlights from the latest Fed survey on the potential rate hike movement, Fed funds outlook, and the likelihood of a recession in the U.S. Take a look. Broad, but we're going to keep bringing you details on this story as it progresses. For now, we have to get into our first short break on the show, but when we come back, we're going to bring you all of the updates on the India-China clash that is really taking center stage at the winter session of the Parliament. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back. You're still tuned into Business Lunch on CNBC-TV18, and let me now bring you the updates from Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport, which continues to slide into chaos amid heavy rush as domestic air travel returns to pre-COVID levels. Now, while passengers have taken to social media to share pictures of long queues and massive crowds, this is, by the way, ever since Saturday, officials are now trying to control the traffic on the ground. This even as airlines have asked passengers to reach 3.5 hours in advance, even for domestic flights. So digital boards mentioning the estimated waiting time have also been put up near the terminal's T3 gates. The Civil Aviation Ministry has also instructed scheduled airlines to ensure sufficient official assistance is provided at check-in and baggage drop counters. All of this in order to ensure decongestion. In fact, the airlines have also been told to provide real-time data on social media platforms so as to keep travelers in the loop. Additionally, security has also been increased at all entry gates. Count meters have been put up to manage the crowds, while 4 extra X-ray machines have also been put up to smoothen the baggage process. So that is the latest from Delhi Airport. The chaos really still continues, but these are the measures being put in place right now to help contain the crowds at the airport. So we're going to keep tracking that. But for now, let me move on and bring you the latest on the India-China border tensions. The opposition has now actually staged a walkout in the Rajya Sabha after it was denied a discussion on the situation. CNN News 18's Arunima sent us this report.
For the second day running, the Tawang clash is dominating parliamentary proceedings. The opposition leaders, United Opposition, led by Mallikarjun Kharge of Congress Party, met this morning and decided that they would continue to press the government for a discussion on the Indo-China situation, the situation along the line of actual control. Yes, a statement has been given by Raksha Mantri, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, but the opposition says they wanted more clarification, and none of that was given. They were not even given a chance to make their point or share their views on this situation. situation along the line of actual control. So in the upper house in Rajya Sabha, when their notices seeking discussion, seeking clarification was refused, the joint opposition walked out. In Lok Sabha also, the opposition raised this matter again and again. The government on its part says that we have already suo moto briefed both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Raksha Mantri gave brief details about what really happened and said that at the diplomatic level as well as the local commander level, it has been communicated to China that this attempt to unilaterally change the status quo is not appreciated and it should not attempt to transgress into Indian territories. Indian government is also taking positive solace or taking solace from the fact that internationally they are getting support. United States has come out and in a way supported India's stance and also said that there is a sense of ease. The fact that this did not escalate, the situation between India and China, unlike Galwan and Tawang, has not escalated, has also been appreciated. But the fact that the international community is watching the Chinese aggression closely, not just what is happening along the Indo-China border, but also in Taiwan, is that international pressure or international monitoring of what is being called as China's aggression is also something that the government is watching. So the government strategy seems to be twofold: diplomatic isolation of China or pressing it diplomatically that what China is trying to do, unilaterally change the border, is not acceptable.
All right, that was the latest on the India-China clash at the Tawang region. Arunima, thanks a lot for bringing us all of the details. But we have to get into another short break now. You guys stay tuned because after the break, we are going to talk about the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup underway in Qatar. So stay tuned for that. Truly a messy masterclass last night, and these are just not matches to miss, right? In fact, tonight's semi-final will also see France taking on Morocco, who've actually had a dream run so far, beating the likes of Belgium, Spain, Canada, as well as Portugal en route to the semi-finals. In fact, the semi-finals will also feature a clash between Kylian Mbappe and Morocco's Achraf Hakimi, who are fast friends and club teammates as well as at PSG, but they will be facing off in a high-stakes game later tonight. Adding hype to the rivalry, the French winger had earlier said that he wished to play Morocco so he could destroy his defender friend Hakimi. So it's definitely going to be a fun match to watch and, worth all of the late nights. And that is what we have planned as far as tonight goes, and then extending into the weekend as well. For now, we have to take a look at the markets as well, and it is off the highs, but no complaints at all. 70 points in terms of a gain, holding up very well ahead of that big Q. It is really ONGC which is coming up with a big pop today. It's up over almost 4% on the back of what's going on with crude. But on that note, we're going to wind down. You guys stay tuned. Mid-cap radar comes up in 2 to take all of this action forward.